Welcome back, scorers. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we got a very special guest. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. We want to keep boosting the channel because we want to keep getting special guests. Today is nothing short of that. Today, I got a two-time NBA champion, NC State Doll, my guy from South Carolina, the author of What I Wish I Knew by Josh Powell. Please welcome Josh Powell to the show. What's up, big dog?
I appreciate you. First and foremost, man, keep killing it, brother.
Thank
You
you,
know,
brother.
I see you doing your thing, man. So salute to you.
Yes, sir.
You got your team on deck. Y'all making big moves, man. So I love
Yeah,
it.
man. We've been grinding out for a couple years now, man. Trying to push this thing. We and all independent. So I appreciate you respecting it. Appreciate the love, man. You know, it took us a minute, but we making it happen.
Absolutely.
Making it happen, bro. I want to jump right into it, man. So, like I told you over the phone, man, I watched you and Julius Hodge over at NC State. Y'all was doing y'all thing, and you left a year before him, right?
I left 2 years before him.
2 years before him.
He graduated, yeah.
And the year before, no, the year after you left, they went to the Sweet 16, right?
Freshman year, I want to say we went to the second round.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what happened after I left, to be honest.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
was so off
Yeah, because I
NC
know they went to the Sweet
State.
16, dog. No, I was following NC State because I was, I used to hoop. I was a skinny dude hooping or whatever. And Julius Hodge came with the t-shirt. I used to be embarrassing my arms. My shit looked like Slim Jims back in the day, like incense. So I just tried to cover it up. Julius Hodge, I remember seeing you. I remember seeing y'all balling and shit. And I know you left. And I know you left. Do you think you left too early?
No.
Nah. What made you leave that year? Like after,
So it could be a lot of coulda, woulda, shouldas, but a lot of people don't know, man. I was having some family issues,
mhm.
and my mother was sick, and I pretty much took on like the head of the household type of role, and I thought I was making a big boy decision to help out, but to go even further, initially I was just gonna test the waters.
Right.
But I had been going through a lot of stuff. My 2 years there, I didn't feel appreciated. It was just a lot of things going on.
Mm.
And that's really ultimately what led to, like, you know what, bumping. I'm just going to step out here on faith.
Hmm.
My freshman year, going into my sophomore year, like the amount of work I put in, I was freshman of the week on a few occasions. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I was either second or third team, all ACC freshman or something like that.
Right. You was.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I was putting in work, and even though the playing time was up and down, things like that, was still able to have a decent, what I thought was a decent freshman year. I think it was
Hmm.
seven and four rebounds or five rebounds, whatever it was. And then, man, I put in a ton of work that summer, added on some more muscle. And in my sophomore campaign, I'm 12, 13 a game and,
Yep.
five, six or seven rebounds. So it's like I'm showing what I could do. And then it was
Mm.
the roller coaster. I'd have 17 and 10 one game. The next game, he barely played me. I had, like, it was just a ton of things. And then
Bro.
even going back, bro, because it's like, as I'm talking about it, I'm just remembering the amount of work that I put in. And I'll never forget, we had the training camp. So we was doing three to four practices a day for like a week straight.
Shit.
So I'll never forget Herb on like the fourth day, he stopped practicing. He was like, I don't know what's going on with this kid,
He
but he
ain't sound
is
like that.
kicking y'all.
He ain't sound like that. Come on, man. Come on, Josh. Come on, gang. Yeah.
Hey,
Uh,
hey, bro, he stopped practicing, told them folks, man, like, he is busting y'all butt. And I put in so much work, man, for him, for us to get to the first preseason game. And then he decided to start Ilian Eftimov over me. I don't
mm,
have a beef with Ilian.
hmm.
We all came in together. Ilian got game. But I felt that I proven, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, this
I
is
know
my
I know how you
spot.
feel.
I felt that I proved that you have your starting five, you have, the guy that's going to play a bulk of the minutes at that position, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He tears his ACL within the first couple of minutes of the game.
Mm.
And then it was like this up and down thing. Like I set the record, and I think JJ broke the record, but I went like 9 for 9 from the field. I think JJ did 10 for 10, or
JJ
I did
Red,
10 for 10.
JJ Reddick,
Hickson.
Hickson. Okay,
Yeah. So I think I did 9 for 9 or 10 for 10, and then he did like 11 for 11. It was something like that.
gotcha.
But like, bro, I'm just, you play me. I'm the type, bro. If you play me, I'll figure it out. I'll get it done. And it was just like this all season long. And then finally, when they started kind of calling for his job, then he just started playing me, and then
Mm.
we just had some success. So like the last, uh, January, end of January, February, March. Like I went on to average to finish the season like almost 17 and 10
Right.
to finish the season. And then when we went into ACC tournament, I think I was up at like 20 and whatever a game or something like that. But I just need the opportunity, man. And it was just me going through so much. And then I'm young. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a 19-year-old kid when I decided to come out. So it's like going through all of these different emotions. I done had coaches flick me off, tell me we don't know why we got you here. Like they was talking to me.
This at NC State.
Yeah, bro, they was talking to me greasy.
That's crazy.
So
That's
I'm
that
dealing
old
with,
school coaching though.
I mean, I'm not mad at it if there's a reason, but at the same time, you still gotta help me through it. Cause I'm a kid from the south side of Atlanta.
Right. Right.
So like you disrespect me, I'm on that type of time. That's how I grew up.
Yep. Yep. I
So
know what you
I'm
mean.
trying to navigate not having that mindset now being in a college setting. So there's
Mm.
a lot of maturing that needs to go on. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
And yeah, and because coaches, like, I'm not mad at the old school mentality, but at the same time, if you want to do some things to motivate me, cool. But when you tell me you don't know why I'm there, we wish we never picked you up, or F you, go home, like stuff like that. All right, now that's a little different, bro.
No, so it makes sense why you had went to the draft. Then it makes sense because I mean, that I would have did the same thing.
Chuck them
I would
things,
have did
bro.
the same thing.
Didn't look back. I told KB, who was the equipment manager, man, he good dude, and I was like, bro, I don't think I'm coming back. Because the other part too was they had me, and when I talked to my agent, I think he said at that time there was a mock draft that had me like as high as like late, like as high as like what 19, 20 or something like that.
First round.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So you went out. Then you had you was undrafted. You played overseas for a little bit, right?
yeah. So I
Played.
did a half. So I signed with Dallas out the gate. When they released me, they still had my rights, and I went to Italy. I don't even count Russia because that was so short, but I went to
Right.
Italy for a half a season. I did summer league, did a full season in Italy, and then I came back and started the NBA journey. So,
Now, how was your rookie season with Dallas?
um,
Like, I mean, when I say how was your rookie season, let me ask that question better. Did you have any like rookie hazing? Was it, who was your old head type of thing?
man, so because I had already kind of established those relationships first year out, my old heads was like Jerry Stackhouse,
Yeah.
Daryl Armstrong. I was real cool with Dirk. Josh Howard and Marquise Daniels, we're roughly around the same age. So because they had
I'm
a
looking at
year
your
or
rosters
two
right here.
under their belt, you know what I mean? Like I respected everybody in their position. You know what I mean? Like I would
Hmm.
have conversations with Keith Van Horn. I would have conversations with Eric Dampier.
Mm.
Have conversations with Sagana Job. You know what I mean? Like, and Sagana, even though he was younger, he still had been in the league for a minute because he came straight out. So,
Right.
um,
How
it
how
was,
wa- how was it with Dirk? Was it because this was 05, 06, so y'all was around that when y'all just was like y'all was beat the Heat. No, y'all lost to the Heat. Was that the
Yeah, we
same year?
lost. We lost to the Heat. Yeah, we
Y'all lost
lost
to
to
the
the
Heat
Heat.
that year. How was his work ethic? I know people always want to know about Dirk work ethic.
Man, amazing, brother. Like he had a different type of work ethic, but everything that he did, like he was the first person I saw that the stuff that he was doing translated into the game.
Right.
But it wasn't like your normal, like, okay, we're gonna do pick and pops and stuff like that. Like you ever seen KD's workout? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
the be at the free throw line and the turn on one leg.
Yep.
Like he was doing like all that type of stuff.
Well,
And I
now
was
let,
and I
let me
was
ask you, what is that about? So that people know what is that about? What is that helping when it comes to your game?
it's balance, it's how you keep your shot like lined up. You know
Mm,
what I mean? It's form shooting. It's a little bit of like everything.
everything. Okay.
Because if you notice too, the really great shooters have high arcs.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, for
nobody's
sure.
shooting that thing flat. Like Dirk has a high arc. Steph has a high arc. All the great shooters, man, they got a little bit extra in that thing. And so it's like when Dirk was doing stuff, it's like getting like he would do this one thing at the free throw line, like this bounce and then come straight out of it and then just go right up with it. And I was just like, man, because I actually went through a couple of his workouts. So Dirk liked to work out at like 11 or 12 at night.
Or
Yeah, he would come back during those times. So I got, a chance to have a couple of those calls and be able to kind of pick his brain and pick up some of the habits that he had
mm-hmm.
in regards to his shooting ability. So
No.
it was really amazing, man, like to just kind of see that because again, I was young. That was my first superstar. No disrespect to Stack because he's a legend, you know what I'm
Mm,
saying, in my
right.
eyes. And just people like that. But Dirk being one of the greatest to ever play, that was the first time I had actually had that chance to like work with somebody on that level.
Gotcha. Now you played with a few teams. You played with the Mavs, Pacers, that we believe Golden State team. We're gonna get into that. But Clippers, Lakers, Hawks, Rockets. What's your favorite? What's your favorite city and why?
Atlanta, why
Well,
wouldn't
I mean, listen, I thought you. I know people out here in LA from Atlanta, and they love LA.
that are from Atlanta?
Yeah, from Atlanta.
They love it because of the work.
The work, the weather. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It could have been something like that.
Listen, LA, the weather is phenomenal.
Right.
You're gonna bump into to people all the time,
You ain't
but
like. Hold on. You ain't like Houston. I like Houston over. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love Atlanta, but I like Houston over Atlanta, man.
I love Houston, but you also got to look at it from the standpoint of being in a different place in my life.
Mm,
So first of all, let me say this: I've never been the type that always hung out or did those types of things. I
okay.
would do it to vibe and do all of that, but I actually did a ton of clubbing and all of those things early on in my life, like when I was like 14, 15, 16.
Oh.
So I was already kind of tapped out from that because I had already been experiencing and living life a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So, regards to like Houston or LA, like I hung out, but I would hang out like for example, my 3 years in LA, I spent a ton of time in the studio, ton of time.
In the studio. So you was you doing
Bro,
music?
I got all the no, but I'm a music connoisseur. Like I was a part of like I had a chance to listen in on a ton of albums like the Chris Brown, Tiger,
Mm.
fan of a fan. Um, I got an invite from Dr. Dre to come to this house, and I actually got a chance to listen to the Chronic 2 album that never came out.
That's tough. That's
Um,
tough.
yeah, I've been a part of like a ton of studio sessions, man. Been in the studio with Timberland, been in the
So
studio with
you was doing legendary shit.
yeah, and I'll be listening in, and then I'll be having conversations like with the artists, with the producers, like, hey, what do you feel? How do you like this? Da, 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 da. Like, I was on all that, bro. Like, I used to hang
Mm.
with Breezy heavy back in the day, Tiger heavy back in the day. Like
So
those are my guys. You know what I'm saying? Young Money, like Mac Man.
yeah.
Yeah, like I used to. That was my thing. Like I love because I love music so much.
Uh,
I'm not gonna be in your club.
did you do any music? Like did
So
you coming up? Did you in any music yourself?
no,
No. Oh,
no.
yeah.
But I gotta. But I used to. I used to make the beats. I used to. Well, I still do. I need to get back to it, man. But like DJing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro.
That's what's up. So you was on that We Believe team, man. How was that, man? How was that journey, bro? Cause they shocked y'all shocked the world.
Well, first of all, being traded because of the Indiana situation was, you know what I'm saying, like going from that to then
Who-
being thrown into the trade because that's how it happened. Like I was the last piece in that trade.
Oh, was that the what Indiana was that? That was the Violence of the
That was
Palace?
nope. That was the when the shooting happened at the when Steven Jackson got hit by the car.
Oh, word. Yeah, I forgot
In the
about
park.
that.
Yeah, yeah. That
Wow.
whole situation that happened and took place with all that. Like it was a couple of incidents, but yeah, I was on that team.
Wow. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Mhm.
I know. So you guys, so you was at you was with Golden State from
Mhm.
there. How was that energy over there? I know those guys
Oakland is amazing, bro.
yeah, I used to live out
Like,
there. I know it.
yeah, like I loved my time with Golden State, even though it was short lived. But it was like the run that we went on in order to make it to the playoffs, and then
Hmm.
to beat the hottest team in the NBA in the first round.
Yeah.
And then guys just ran out of gas in the second round. I really do think we could have went to the Western Conference Finals,
Mm.
and I know the guys do as well. But
I
you
was
know,
I was in debate when I was in debate when y'all was playing, man. I wanted y'all to go to the second. I wanted y'all to go to the second round. It was lit back then.
super, super. But like I said, the guys ran out of gas. But it was fun, man. Like we just had this swagger, and we wanted to smoke with everybody. Like them last couple of months, all of that, bro. Like we was just mashing the gas. Like it was
Mm.
really fun to be a part of, man. And shout out to Monte, Kalina Azabuki, BD, Stack,
Yeah.
Matt, like, you know, Andres. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
a lot of people talk about everybody else, but Andres was a big, big, big part of the success of that team, man. And it was crazy because then, you had myself, you had uh Rooney, Yes the Cabbages, Salonis
Hmm.
Yes the Cabbages, you had him, you had
Uh,
Donald Foyle.
okay, yeah. I remember down the four.
Yeah, I mean, we had Al Harrington.
Harrington. Yeah,
You know
y'all
what
was
I'm saying?
tough,
And,
bro.
we like, bro, we had a ton of guys on.
Y'all had some dogs, man.
Listen,
Matt
all
Barnes.
the way, all the way. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like a matchup nightmare because you had a ton of guys that were like 6'6", 6'7". You might have four guys the same position play. You know what I mean? Everybody just
Right.
switched. So it was fun, man.
You know
Oakland
what I
was
wanted to ask before we got into that? I wanted to ask you because you coming into the NBA. I always ask about the NBA guys who come on here. Who was the toughest person for you to guard? Like out of your whole career,
I always say Al Jefferson.
Al Jefferson. Yeah, Al Jefferson was nice. He had that footwork for you. He had that footwork
The,
for you.
re- the reason why I say Al was tough was because how they played him. So most systems, when they call a play for a guy, and you might take it away or he don't catch it, he's not in a position that they might want him to catch it in or something like that. They'll go away from it.
Mm.
But Al was one of those guys, man. He went on a stretch where he was averaging 20 and 10 for a few years.
Yep.
Like Al had work. Like a lot of
And we
people
don't we don't
were
talk
talking.
about him enough. I don't think I put him in my top power forwards. I should have.
Man, listen, I gotta give Al, and that's my dog too. I gotta give him credit, man, because and it's funny because he got like somebody did a mixtape with just him on, like with him and his footwork and all that. It was crazy
Yeah.
with the right hand. He going over that left shoulder.
Oh yeah, we don't give him enough love. I might have to make it do a special on him.
No, for sure. So the thing that made him tough, just getting back to that, is like the fact that he was the first, second, and third option. So like, they had one play, man, like they'll look for him, in the first part of transition. If you don't get it, he'll duck in. If you don't get the duck in, somebody setting the screen for him. It was just nonstop.
Mm,
So you always had to work.
yeah.
You knew what he was gonna do, but from the standpoint of like you couldn't just take a break because he's always working. And I've had a chance to guard a ton of players. I've had a chance to guard some of the best bigs in the history of the game. But again, it's just the fact that they were just relentless on getting him the ball.
Mm,
So you got to be on your game. Playing against Zebo. Zebo's a tough guard. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's
So you
very
got to
tough.
match that. You got to match that and be on that type of time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but those types of matchups too were also some of the most fun matchups
Why so?
because I love to compete.
There you go.
I love to compete, bro. I love as much as people talk about getting buckets, man. Like it's an honor for me because especially in my role, it's an honor for me to make it hard for guys
Right.
or to if you average 20 and you might have had you know 14.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I might have had a chance to guard you for a
You
bulk of that. Like I took pride in that.
yeah,
You know
you
what I'm
did
saying? Like
you did your job at that point.
that was my role. So
Mm-hmm.
if you went, 7 for whatever, especially like with the Clippers when I was playing like heavy minutes. So if you went 7 for 17, I did my job. Now the
Mm.
stat sheet might read you had 20 and whatever, but if you're a real basketball head, you can appreciate that.
Yeah, you definitely. You
You
made
know
him
what
shoot a
I'm saying?
lower
Like
you made him shoot a lower
you got your
percentage.
attempts up. That's
Yep,
knowing the game of basketball. You feel me? Like now, if you went 11 for 11, that's a different story.
exactly. He
I've
kicked your ass
never
in
in
it.
my 20 years had anybody give me work like that. Not like that.
Mm. Who gave so Al Jefferson gave you the most work?
I ain't saying that either, but
Somebody gave you some work. Come on, Josh.
respectfully, I ain't saying that either. But you know who was a tough cover, and we don't talk about enough is LaMarcus Aldridge.
He was definitely tough. He was definitely tough. Which one LaMarcus was it? Was it the Spurs or the
Portland,
Portland? Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
He was different.
Brian Fish.
So you played with some scorers, bro. We're going to leave Kobe out of this one. Who out of these four names, who are the better scorers? Now, obviously, one of the names I'm gonna name is going to be someone that we already know we had got more buckets than all of them. But you know how that is, though. Like when you have a role on the team and you can't shoot as much, you got to do certain things, so it kind of limits you. But you've seen these guys in practice. You played against these guys in practice, so you might see a different side that we don't see. So I'm gonna throw the names out there: Monte Ellis, Joe Johnson, James Harden, or Baron Davis. Like if they had the green light their whole career, we be talking about them more. Oh, this is a good one. That's a good question right here.
All teammates. Amazing question.
Yeah, I had to go all teammates because you play with some good
Yeah,
guys.
this might surprise everybody, and there's no knock to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got two guys on that list that have scored over 20,000.
Mm. Yep.
Uh,
Joe and Jam.
I think it's unfair because Barron has so much to his game.
Right.
Injuries caught up,
Yep.
but then at the same time, he was who he needed to be depending on what team.
Mm. Very true. Especially for Charlotte.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we talking Charlotte. If Charlotte BD got to play for about 15 years, that'd be a different conversation.
Mm.
I think people sleep on Monte, man.
No, Monte was tough. He came straight out of high school. He came straight out. He was tough. He just didn't have like I just didn't think he was in he wasn't in the best situations all the time. Like he could have been the number one scorer, but he always had other scorers around him. Then Steph Curry came in and they was trying to mold and they was trying to build around Steph.
So think about what he did not being that
Right.
when the other guys were in a position to be that.
Mm.
Now, James arguably had one of the best seasons we've ever seen in NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
But Monte like how he was getting to it, and he's always been a bucket.
Always. Facts.
Um, I don't know, bro. I'm gonna go with the underdog on this.
And who's that? Who's that?
I'm gonna go with Tay.
You gonna go Monte?
I'm gonna go with Monte.
So we're gonna go into the Lakers, bro. Now that I want to say this because I know you won two championships with the Lakers. First things first, bro. Did Phil Jackson? Cause I'm listening to a Phil Jackson book, an audio book. They talk about meditating.
Mhm.
Did he have y'all meditating?
Absolutely. There
Really?
were times where he would come into he felt even if we won a couple of games, if he felt we weren't playing the way that we were supposed to, he would light sage and walk around the entire gym.
Mm,
He would come like when we came in to watch film, the lights were off, dim. We would have to meditate right then and there. And
word.
he would talk us through the meditation. He would have the sage going, the whole show.
Do
Like
you
he was big on that.
do you think did it help your game though?
It helps relax your mind. It helps to refocus, realign, um, which in the end it does help. You play better.
Mm,
I think from my perspective, because a lot of times you got to think, man, all the things that you're dealing with. When people go to see a game, you only see what's on the court. You don't never see what a player's dealing with, the girl problems. A kid might be sick. Somebody could have just died. There's a ton of things going on. Unfortunately, because you're in a position, you have resources, you make some good money. People just don't look at you as being human. It's like, what do you have to worry about? So, there's a ton of that, but at the end of the day, man, like being able to refocus and just recenter yourself is needed. Now, whether you do it by sage or prayer, or sometimes you just gotta sit still and just, you know what I mean, be quiet in that moment. That's something that can help you get into that space.
so I agree with that. So how was that experience, man? You won two championships, bro. You played with the great Kobe Bryant. How was that? You gotta give us a Kobe story.
Man, one see, I can't be like some of these other folks. They tell too much, bro. But the one that I do want to tell is like he came to the south side of Atlanta. He came to my high school. Him and Derek Fisher helped present a check to my high school.
Shout out Derek
When
Fisher,
I,
man.
yeah, for sure. When I wrote a check I purchased, I think like 30 computers or 40 computers, whatever it was. But I had a technology center in my high school dedicated after my foundation, especially during that time because Clayton County had lost their accreditations. So it was like this big push for resources, technology, all of these things to like move the game forward for the students. You know what I mean? Just having
Right.
that access. So I do appreciate him for coming and blessing them kids. And the reason why I got to say that is we hear all the usual stories about work ethic, how he, didn't go out and he was focused and locked in. But I just wanted to remove that cape and put on the other cape of him just being a dope dude,
That's what's
great
up.
brother. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's what's
saying?
up.
Like, and I got to shout him out for that because he didn't have to do that, and we did that on a game day.
Mm,
So that's the other reason why that hit home heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because we did shoot around, we shot down to Riverdale, we did what we did. He took off and left. I stayed a little bit longer, but I'm super grateful for that.
that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, you don't really hear a lot of stories about him doing stuff like that, and I think you should. Because like you said, we all look at him like, oh, the guy who just worked really hard, he played basketball. I got my takes and my debates on it and whatnot. But no, look, I listen. People think I don't like Kobe. I love Kobe. Kobe is the fourth on my list. I mean, I think that's a great compliment. Do you think? But how was it? Where was he on your? Was he always like? Where's he on your list? Like, where's Kobe on your list? Like, if you had just, is he your top five?
I mean, at one point in time, I had him. I had him as the greatest, bro. I
You
think
had him as the greatest.
Yeah, I think LeBron done made a strong case, man. I know
Yeah.
he receives a lot of hate, but I don't, man. Like
Wait,
tripping off
you had
that's
you had Kobe before Jordan?
facts.
Ooh. Hey, that's this is the first. Why you put Kobe
I
before
ain't even
Jordan?
hesitate because I'm not gonna be the type of guy to be like, oh, 1A, 1B, or he took what somebody else was doing, or he's the carbon copy, or he's the like, man, I had a chance to be on both sides of it.
Mm,
And it's no disrespect to Mike, no none of that. But the kid came out of high school, had to figure some things out.
hmm
Um, we talking about somebody too, and this is the other thing, and I'm not afraid to speak to it, but we watched him rebrand himself after
Yeah.
going through you know what I'm saying? Like he was
Yeah,
going
for
through some
sure.
things, and that man was flying here, showing up right before the game, giving you 30 and headed back to like, come on, bro.
Yeah. That's dope.
Like,
That's the
like,
mamba for you.
like, listen, man, the man was different. Like, and to see how easy the game was and just the attention to detail, man, and the competitive spirit. Like he didn't care who, what, when, where. It was nothing that he couldn't do. Right hand, left hand, like bro was different.
Yeah,
Bro
for
was
sure.
different, bro.
No,
Bro
for
was
sure.
different, and I get it. Yeah, Mike set the tone, but I just I think when it comes to the GOAT conversation, we don't have a fair one.
Mm.
Let me
What?
go back and say that because there are people that absolutely, arguably, should be dead set in the center of that, but because they weren't cool, because of what they stood for, whatever the case may be, they're not a part of the conversation. Why wouldn't Kareem
I was
Abdul-Jabbar
about to say
be
that.
part of the conversation? Like, if we're gonna be real,
He wasn't media friendly, that's why.
if we're gonna be real,
Yeah.
that man won on every level. He had the
Mm-hmm.
scoring title forever.
Mm-hmm.
He did one move, couldn't stop it. Like that man dominated.
Facts.
That man dominated
Yeah.
because he
Five
didn't.
rings too. He got 5 rings.
Come on, man. Because he didn't have. No, I think Cap had six.
Who?
Kareem
You
Cap.
think you think he has no, he got 5. See how many Kareem
Yeah,
had?
we gotta run that.
Yeah, I'm
But
pretty sure he had 5.
I
He had
mean, like
2 with the
that
Bucks. One with
that
the
that, that man was he was incredible, bro. Like, but we
Oh
don't
yeah,
we don't
6.
talk
Oh,
about
I'm
that.
wrong. My bad. My bad. Now they're gonna be like, you don't know ball. You don't know. They gonna be in my car. You don't know. Oh, sorry. I don't got a good memory. My bad.
No, 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 no,
You straight.
no. But again, I remember I seen this post, man, and somebody said somebody was comparing Jordan to Jeff Hornacek. Was it Jeff Hornacek? No, John. I can't
Stockton,
remember. No.
Starks,
Uh, is it Havlicek?
Havlicek,
Because
Havlicek.
they said he had 8 rings and like 26,000. It was something like that, bro.
Oh, that's a good one. We might have to take that one. I might have to bring that to the forefront.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna try to look it up real quick. But anyway, bro, like
Research
John
on the spot.
Havlicek, I got you. I'm gonna go ahead and beat you to it. So
Yeah, good.
John had a illustrious 16-year career, scored 26,395 points, and he is ranked as the Celtics' all-time leading scorer. In the midst of that, he also has 8 championships, 13 trips, and won 8.
Mm.
So I like little debates like this because what we
But
doing. But then
they,
they'll be like, "Oh, they ain't play nobody during that
yeah,
time."
that's
Like
what
we
I
got to
was about
stop
to
that.
say. That's all I'm about to say. They
We got to
made.
stop that.
Why is that though? Why do we got? I look for me. I think
We
like
move the needles for our favorites. If you're gonna have the argument, let's have a real good argument. Don't
see
move the
that's
needle.
the thing. I think the whole go or all time thing is not really shouldn't be a thing. Because you got to be all by eras. Like because certain stuff wasn't even allowed.
I agree. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah,
But you
John,
asked me, I didn't want to avoid. You know what I'm saying? Some people just
yeah,
won't touch it. I'm gonna touch it.
fair enough, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, we
I
gonna do it. But even though I'm saying Kobe, like I really do feel in my heart of hearts, LeBron James at the end of the day, that's top dog, man. We ain't seen nothing like that. They just put a stat up for people that have played 20 years, and it was a list of who Jamal, Dirk, KG,
Vince.
yeah, all them people, bro.
Hmm.
I think KG might have been
Hmm.
the closest with 9 points, bro. Bron in year 22, 25, 6 and 6 or 25, 7 and 6. I don't even know.
Yeah, he like, and it's crazy to me that people keep acting like this is some regular shit, like this is some normal, like
Only
we
because
just,
it's him.
yeah, like we just see 40-year-olds dropping 25 a game, they son on the bench, like it's just normal, like we don't,
When
we
MJ was doing it, they was going crazy.
if you trust me,
When
bro, if MJ was
when
doing this stuff at
come on,
39, 40, they would still be talking about to this day. You ain't, it was more documentaries of him with the Wizards jersey on.
bro. Even when Vince was playing in his 20, whatever, they were like, bro, this is insane because we've never seen that before. Bron about to do that and he about to still average a dub.
Facts, facts, man.
That's greatness, bro. Like, how do you remain that consistent and locked in, bro, for that amount of time? I mean, it can be done,
Right.
but I think that there are people that just don't care.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you see people like Bron, you see people like Kobe, you see I mean, there's a ton of people that we can name that just had a love for the game. Tim Duncan, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like just professional, bro. Like showed up, you know what you was getting.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I always say that's the hardest thing to do. Like when you have everything. Like it's hard to achieve stuff when you have everything already because most people get comfortable. Most people okay with one ring. Most people okay with the second ring. But then to keep pushing, like I don't think he had nothing, LeBron has nothing to push for anymore. I just think he genuinely just loved playing basketball. And I think it's hard for people to understand that because they don't genuinely love something. They haven't found it yet. But no, man, he did his thing. You did your thing. Kobe did. Everybody did their thing, and I think I salute you guys because getting to that level is tough. You won two championships. How was that though? Like, how was when you won your championships? How was that? Was it like a dream come true? Did you ever envision this? Like, did you think like in your craziest dreams or vision, or maybe just your subtle dreams of vision, you see yourself as an NBA champion?
That's a great question. I don't know if I could say I saw it, but I've been on teams where I felt like we definitely should have won it.
Mm.
And my first taste of the NBA Finals was when we lost to the Miami Heat. I was on that Dallas Mavericks team, which
Was that
we
one of the
had
team? Was that the team that you thought should have won it?
facts, bro. One of
Okay.
the most controversial series finals ever. We
Mm,
were up 2-0. We won both in very convincing fashion.
mm-hmm.
We're up 15 with 3 minutes and some change to go, game three,
Mm-hmm.
and couldn't get it back since then. Now, rumor has it that there were people already planning parades and this, that, and the third. Now, you know, you can't go that far until the job is finished.
Oh man, they always
And,
jinx you.
you know, that's why I'm saying allegedly. So, anyway, allegedly, I'm sure that the people that were uh, the uppers that's a part of the organizations made a call and said, you know what? We got something for that. So I ain't taking away nothing D Wade or Shaq or Udonis, who is my brother. I love UD. You know, they always used to compare me with UD coming up. Um, and everybody else, like I have no hate or nothing, but it sucks to feel like you got robbed.
Mm.
Like
And just
D
for
Wade
the young people
averaged
who don't know,
20
why
something free throws a game the 4 games straight that they won it, bro.
who averaged 20 free throws a game?
D Wade, if
D
I'm
Wade.
not mistaken.
Mm.
You can look that up, and if you want, you can text me, call me, and say, "Hey, bro, let's jump on a live to correct it, whatever." But I want to say I
Now I
want to
remember
say
D Wade going
D-Wade.
off. I remember D Wade going off. I don't know how many free throws he shot versus y'all,
Bro,
but I remember him going off though.
it was tough, bro. Like we got to a point we couldn't touch, bro. Now, mind you, game 4, they just smacked us.
Mm,
They just smacked us. Game 5, we had a chance to win it. We just couldn't get it together. Game 6, we just played tight and they won it. So
wow.
I felt like, you know what I'm saying, that was my first, taste at getting into that position for a championship.
Mm.
Now, going to the Lakers after they lost it, I believe in the team that we had. And while we talking about it, let me say this, because I hear a lot of podcasts, a lot of people, you know who they are as well. All this talk about Kobe took this team to the finals. Hey man, we some dogs, bro. Please don't get it
Oh,
twisted.
I know what you talking about. You know how they
Please,
he won it without a top 75 player.
please,
Y'all had the tallest
please,
team.
please don't get it twisted. And first of all, if you're a real basketball head, what are you saying about the rest of the league?
Right.
Because when you go back and check that Lakers team, I came on the back 2 years of when we won it back to back. But the year before that, if I'm not mistaken, they won 60 games
Mm-hmm.
or close to it. So how do you go 3 years straight, winning 60 games or more,
Mm-hmm.
make it to the finals 3 years straight, and you're going to say that Kobe took this team to the NBA finals?
Mm. Right.
And the other part, and that's why people that haven't won, and I'm saying this respectfully, but people that haven't won to disrespect teams that have done it, I'm not a fan of that either because
Wait,
it
who we talking
takes,
about? Who we talking about? Are we doing names? Or
bro.
we ain't
Who
done
who
okay.
who ain't we talking about? Everybody done had some skin in the game with that comment. The most recent was somebody sent it to me too. It ain't like I went searching, but I posted it. I tagged them and everything. Was like, what's happening?
Oh, I'm on
Because
now I'm about to go on your Instagram. I got
well, I put it on my story. You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
okay.
Because I try to keep it light and I try to keep it positive, but
As you should.
it's just the disrespect, bro. Like for one, as NBA players, and for two, because 520, for example, my name was mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Like they broke it down and was going across the line about all the players and the fact that like, look at this sad roster.
Y'all got Kobe fucked up, bro. Look at
How?
that roster.
That's not a horrible roster, bro. That's a good
To go back to back, nigga, that's the best. That's the worst roster to ever go back to back. On my soul. Josh Powell, boy, yeah. Sasha Bullshit, Luke Walton, and this nigga named Meta World Peace. He wasn't even himself on this team, nigga.
Right? So remind me, I'll send you the clip. And I'm not sensitive, bro, like, but because of respect for the game,
Right.
you'll never hear me come out and ever say anything negative about an NBA player. I can have my takes, but one thing that I know for sure, if it was easy and if everybody could, then they should be able to do it.
Yeah.
You're talking about a league that only 5,000 human beings to live while this world has been in rotation and the game has started out of 8 billion people
Mm-hmm.
has ever played the game at that level.
Right.
I'm not a fan of all the commentary, people thinking it's sweet, all of that, bro, because the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it, being a pro,
Mm-hmm.
playing your position, showing up every day, like, you know how hard that is for you to gotta stay ready, young fella. You know how many times a lot of guys hear that?
Yeah.
Gotta stay ready, young fella. Gotta stay ready, young fella. You gotta like, bro, don't nobody want to hear that. Like, put me in the game. Let me go out
Mm-hmm.
there and show what I can do. And then for you to finally get your shot, but you gotta be mentally locked in.
Mm.
It's easy for guys who you're a starter, you're a main minute guy to do and say and whatever. It's way harder for a guy to have to stay in shape, work out way more,
Mm-hmm.
be locked in on a different type of level to then come in and somebody done got hurt and now you got to start for 3 weeks,
Mm.
or you got to do X, Y, and Z. It's different because a lot of guys have checked out. I've watched players check out. I've watched players say, "Man, I hope I get hurt," and then it happened.
Wow.
I've seen that, bro, because they are so mentally checked out. I don't like the war that goes on. I'm not a fan of that. I know a lot of people, you know, are loving the back and forth. Nothing is wrong with having a healthy debate, but when we start disrespecting each other or pride and ego getting in the way, I'm not a fan of that. I'll never be a fan of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
So
saw
you,
when
so you saying like when people say like, oh, Kobe didn't carry the whole team by, it's a sorry roster. That's the disrespectful part.
bruh, yes,
Okay.
yes. But
I
because
I agree. I
when
agree
you
with you. I think
when you
people.
look at the last dance, right?
Mhm.
Nobody wants to admit the Mike lovers will say, "Look at how great he is." But if you really paying attention, bro, like that's a team effort. Yeah, Mike did his part. Nobody's taking that away.
Mm.
But Mike had Scotty, Mike had Rodman, Mike had Kerr, Mike had people that did what they were supposed to do and they showed up, bro. That's how they won six.
Yeah.
And think about the teammates who were pissed about the documentary because they said this ain't a true depiction of what happened.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's got to be fair across the board, bro.
Absolutely. Like I don't know when basketball became like an individual sport. Like when one person, the star player get a championship, he won. He lost. Like it's a 13 player roster. Everybody, even if you didn't get in that game, everybody
It
counted
matters.
because you played in practice. You was roughing guys up. You did all the things to prepare each other for the game.
And that's one of the things that I'm saying because for me, whether you was my teammate or whether you was somebody I competed against or had the chance to, there's always been respect there. I've never heard that from anybody else, especially during the time when I was a part of that team.
Right.
I got better. You know why I got better, bro? I had to
Uh,
guard Lamar Odom, I had to guard Andrew Bynum, and I had to guard Pau Gasol every day in practice. And then when there was a switch, I had to guard Ron Artest, I had to guard Kobe, I had to guard whoever else,
mm-hmm.
bro. Like that's and this like, bro, we would talk crazy to each other. We would dang near get into fights, bro. That's how competitive those practices were. There's a reason why we went on a 19 game winning streak, a 17 game winning streak. We out there cracking people heads.
Mm-hmm.
And for these people to say, y'all sad or you took this, like, bro, stop it.
Right.
We coming
Right.
in your city, bro. We making y'all look bad, bro.
Mm.
Them folks saying purple and gold in y'all city.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bring that. Don't bring that, bro, my way. I'm that person because I don't like all of the other BS that goes with it. I seen something. I left a comment, bro. I seen what Shaq was talking to. So I think it was a young lady. He loved to take his shades off when he's serious.
Mm-hmm.
So he like, hey, don't get it twisted. We know who driving. Like, come
Oh yeah,
on,
we
bro. What we
say I'm
doing?
in charge.
What we doing, big fella?
But Kobe's not your average passenger. That's what makes him different. I can say this now, it doesn't really matter whose team it was, but don't ever get a twist on who is in charge. Don't ever in your life get it twisted on who is in charge, okay?
What
Yeah,
we
he said when
doing?
I'm in, I was still in
Then,
charge.
then he threw shots because he's like, yeah, when he wanted to back to back, he had to go get two other to fill me. Like, stop, bro. Please stop acting like Pau Gasol in a Hall of Famer too. And quiet is kept, bro. And I say this argument all the time. Andrew Bynum is one of the best Lakers centers to ever play the game.
Wow.
Top
Really?
five. When that man was healthy, bro, he had like a 3 to 4 week stretch, bro, where it clicked for him, but he had an injury. Man, that man was doing like 25 and 12 in like 20 something minutes. Cause he was, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it really clicked for him. It was right after the
No, he
game.
was good. He averaged a double-double. He was good.
Bruh, it was right after the game.
14 and 10, I believe.
Correct, but he went on this stretch where it was crazy. So remember, he had his game. He had his career high. He had 42 against the Clippers
Mm-hmm.
when he was going against DeAndre. Love DeAndre too, but he was giving out work.
Mm.
After that, bro, he just was on a mission. So, bro was killing. Like, come on, man, you gotta respect what that is. He's a young kid, somebody that people feel like he didn't necessarily love the game like that, but that was my dog. That was somebody that I hung out with, and I understood Andrew, man. Like that dude, man, he put in the work, but the injuries and everything else, that's the only thing. But them 2 years I was there, I can't speak for no other time. That man was locked in. He was with it, and you got to see that man. Bro had the footwork. He had, he's 7'2", 7'1", 7'2". Like, he big, bro. Got size on him.
Yeah.
Man, come on. We're going to that every day. You know what I'm saying?
You don't win 2 championships having a sorry roster, man. I don't even know where people get that from.
But everybody's debating it.
Yeah.
And here's what makes it worse. What makes it worse is when other NBA players are now saying, oh, this person's trash, or oh, this person, like, come on, bro, what are we doing?
Right.
If you, out of fairness, if you put people in a setting, no structure, no nothing, just hoop, like the same way they do at UCLA or the same way they do in some of these other runs.
Right.
Then let's see what's cracking.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got players that got to fit into a system, they got to play their role, they got to do their part for the team to win or keep their job. Let's talk about that. Bump the winning. You got to keep your job.
Right.
You're going to do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
So if I got to be a pick and pop guy, I'm going to do what I got to do. If I got to get rebounds and be an energy guy and talk on defense and do all that dirty work stuff, and that's what's going to get me my years in the league, I'm going to do what I got to do. If I got to be the great teammate in the locker room guy, I'm going to do what I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
All that talk, man, where people be like, bro, you ain't deserve that ring, or you ain't did, like, people be.
They say that to you, or they just saying that in general?
Oh, just in general, like, people will say, certain comments to other people. I've never heard anybody say anything like that to me per se. But I went on this tangent because that whole Kobe took this team to the playoffs. And it's like, bro, we got to stop.
Right. Right.
Because y'all really be thinking it's sweet until you got to be in a position, you playing against these guys when they're in their prime. This ain't that.
Yeah, I understand the fans saying stuff like that because they don't understand, like, y'all all can ball. Y'all just in a role. Y'all just have to do certain things, like, but y'all all can get a bucket. But I don't understand the NBA guys who know like how hard it is to win a championship in the NBA, especially during the 2 times, and know that one person don't win a championship.
Because
one person can't carry.
It's the pride and ego, and you know what we see now? The bucket gets more respect than the ring. We having arguments now about who's the best one-on-one guy, or who has the deeper bag, or all this other stuff going on. And it's crazy to me. Like, I seen somebody say, like, I just saw it before we got on the phone. Somebody was like, Bron don't have a bag like that. And Austin, like, and mind you, Austin, I love Austin's takes. I think Austin got some really good takes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Because if we're talking results, LeBron scored more than anybody, guys. All right? If you're talking about the aesthetic, then you're going to go off someone that looks like they're a more polished scorer, who's more skilled on the offensive scoring side. For instance, LeBron has scored more points than Kevin. Kevin can score in a much more variety of ways than LeBron. Yeah. You can argue with the wall, but that's just the truth. LeBron doesn't have half the offensive bag that Kevin has.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at what he's saying, but it's still crazy, though. It's just like, Bron ain't got no bag, but he ain't got to use the bag either. I'm like, all right, cool. You feel me?
Yeah,
but
exactly. Why would you want Bron doing things Kyrie Irving doing? Like, that wouldn't make any sense.
Don't need to, bro.
Yeah, you 6'9", 260, you fast as lightning, bro. Why are you doing all that extra stuff?
And if you can't stop it, then why? Then if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
agree.
I'm not mad at. Again, I don't think that's a disrespectful take. You feel me? Like that's the
Mm-hmm.
difference in just sharing your perspective. But I just hate like how people just got to make themselves look a certain type of way, put somebody else down.
Yeah.
All the stuff that's going on, man. Players are going through it. Then you see all the drama, everything that be happening, bro. It just be driving me crazy because we're leaders. We're
Right.
leaders, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting up here downing each other, knowing that most of us come from the hood. Most of us come from single parent household. Most of us
Mm-hmm.
come from some type of tragedy in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
We've overcome all of these different circumstances in order to play at the highest level. And
Mm-hmm.
we sit here and we just be talking. Now I know people be like, man, we just talking like, bro. No, for me, that's a big thing, bro, because you got to understand how other people are taking that.
Right.
Everybody has a platform. You are allowed to have your opinion or your perspective, but when you start disrespecting somebody else or doing things like that, that's the part that I'm not a fan of. I'll never be a fan of that.
I'm with you, man. I agree with you. I don't get it either. I think that's a good segue into because you talked about everyone, most of the guys you played with, being from the hood, coming from single parent households, and that brings a good segue to your book. I mean, right here, right here. What I wish I knew. What I wish I knew. I read the book. One of the things that I got from it is how childhood trauma can shape you as an adult, and you don't even know it. This
Mhm.
habits you start to develop for comfort. Like we talk about dating women and drinking and all those things. Tell me why this book? Why not come out with something about your journey to the NBA? Why this book that gives you wisdom and the stuff you gain from relationships and all that good stuff?
Because you see the war between human beings every day, and
Mm.
it starts with relationships, mainly the one with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you see people showing people how to work on their mental health or how to get fit, or they'll tell people how to get money. But then it's like if you're not whole, then you can still lose those things from a bad decision, being around the wrong people, whatever the case may be.
Right.
So we got to peel back the layers and start with self. When we look at NBA players, I know there's these different stats that are floating around, but one of the stat that's alarming, again, something else for you to look up, but they say that NBA players have a like 80 or 80 something percent divorce rate, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's insane. That's extremely high.
Very high.
So when
Why?
you think of these families, these households that are being broken, these communities, like what does that look like? Where does that come from? Like how do
Mm.
we peel back the layers to kind of figure those things out? And I know that I've gone on my journey and I'm still on my journey, but if I could do something that can help the next person, not the athlete, just the human being, that's how that book was birthed.
Mm.
It had
That
nothing to do with because I knew I could have did the basketball thing. For me, I feel like we see that every day, but I have a passion for relationships and talking about that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. When I purchased the book, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting, you talk about things you wish you would have known knew about decision making as a athlete. As part of the book is about that, but you really dive deep into like how to handle relationships and also how to heal relationships. It definitely kept me intrigued because like many men, like and probably like others, I grew up in the inner city, single parent household. I didn't really see the interaction between my mom and my dad. My dad been locked up my whole life, so, to this day. So I never seen that interaction. So the stuff I was learning how to handle relationships was from TV, was from music. So as you already know, you can imagine how my relationships was ending and how it was starting or whatnot. So this book kept me locked in, and it definitely gave me a different perspective. It gave me a different perspective on life. So I definitely appreciate you putting that in there.
And I'm glad it did, brother. And for one, I do want to say, man, thank you, because I had a lot of people that supported the book, and I'm grateful for that. But when you not only support it but actually take the time to see what's in it,
Mm-hmm.
man, that means the world to me, because that means you're taking a chance to really get to know me.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, ask me often, like, bro, you're so even keel. Why are you so calm? You just seem to handle stuff and be
Mm-hmm.
this way and be that way. And I'm like, I've gone through so much in my life, a ton of trauma, a ton of pain, being broken, having to fail and get back up, you know, going to jail. I've experienced a ton of things. You know what I'm saying? I've had somebody steal from me before. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've gone through a lot, and it's like, why can't I be vulnerable enough to share that? My voice
Right.
was always stripped when I was younger. This is my opportunity to do so. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to show other people that it's okay to do so.
Right.
So I'm trying to normalize that conversation, because when things happen, for example, like Zion or Anthony Edwards, or, it's a ton of people that we can name. And it's
Mm-hmm.
no shade to them, bro. It's life.
Right.
But how do we make better decisions? How do we put ourselves, you know, in the right rooms, or we're around the right people? Because even when we fall, we have a support system that's going to say, nah, bro, we can't let you do that.
Right.
And that's a lot of times what people need, just to have somebody put that bug in their ear to stop them from making a decision that could be very hurtful or harmful. And there's no judgment, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
got no room to say anything negative about anybody. I got
Mm-hmm.
7 kids by 4 different women. Like, I'm not the one to come down on anybody for nothing. But what I can say is, how do we get better?
Right. Do you
That's
feel
where
like
I'm from.
do you feel like you see you have 7 kids, 4 different women. Do you feel like that's a bad thing? Do you think like is it
I personally don't.
okay?
And that's my power, and that's why I'm so open
Because that's
about
because
it.
that's how I'm looking at it too. I don't think it is. I
Yeah,
you know
but you
I
gonna have people, you feel me? Because this is the world that we in. That's He's not being responsible. He's creating broken homes. Like, first of all, you don't even know none of the story, know nothing.
right.
And even if you did understand the story, I'm not saying it to justify anything. Because if I did have it my way, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd rather have 7 by 1.
Right. Makes your
You
life
know what
easy.
I'm saying?
I sound like it makes life easier.
Right? In multiple ways, but at the same time, that would be the preferred way, but that wasn't my way. And I'm
Right.
and I'm super blessed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been very painful, but it's been a painful parenting experience, but I'm grateful, because it gives me, um, through experiences, something that can help somebody else. That's
Right.
how I look at my life.
Yep.
I'm able to help somebody else do better. Why? Because I'm sharing something with them that can maybe open their eyes, or maybe paint a picture a little bit different, or help them see a situation a little bit different. Because, well, I don't want to put myself in that situation. I don't want to be around them type of people. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can make better decisions, because that's how I'm talking to my kids.
Right.
I know it may not be a realistic thing, but I'm like, bro, be a virgin. Let's
Mm-hmm.
make that cool again. But
Mm-hmm.
let's also make it cool again when you do decide to share yourself with somebody, you know who you are. A lot of people are making decisions and they don't even know who they are.
Right.
That's what's damaging them.
No, that's facts, man. That's facts, man. That's deep, bro. Look, man, we're going. I think it's a good time to wrap it up there. You know what? I wanted to ask though. This is on my mind because you mentioned about the divorce rate in the NBA is at 88%. You've been in the locker rooms, and I'm pretty sure you have some teammates that went through some divorces, some breakups. What is usually the common denominator with this? With
I
the
went through
divorce?
one. I went through one.
Okay. And
And in my situation, um, I felt that I was outgrowing the relationship.
mm,
And I wasn't, and it's no shade to my ex-wife, no nothing. We were
hmm
just growing apart. And I was willing to do therapy or do this or do that. And she wasn't in that space.
right.
And then because, things that I did, because I was unfaithful, I caused a lot of hurt. I did some things that, still to this day, it bothers her. It stuck with her. You feel me? So I gotta
Right.
own that. Like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
pointing the finger, but when it was time to put in the work, you know what I'm saying? We both have to put in the work.
Right.
But I feel that, and she was at a point where she had checked out. She felt like it's what it is, and I was just like, I'm not willing to let our kids see this type of pain continue to
Mm-hmm.
go on. So a lot of times, it's rare that it's the man that's doing it, but I ended up leaving. But in other situations, man, I think that there's a large part of these women that are trying to rack up years. So
Mm-hmm.
they just ride the wave until they can't ride it no more. And that's why once, they're not in that limelight anymore, they leave.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or towards the tail end of the career, they leave. You feel me? And they're not going to be honest about that. There are women out here that are settling, bro.
Mm-hmm.
A man might be in love. He thought he chose the one, but there are women who are just like, I'm gonna ride this out because when I'm done, I'm gonna be set for life. Unfortunately, and they won't be honest about that. I know a lot of guys' wives who are on that type of time.
Wow. No, I can imagine. I can imagine, bro.
So we're not real about that. You feel me? But hopefully, you know what I mean. That's something that can change. And as people continue to grow, gain more information, and the list goes on. So, you know,
Man, listen, bro. I appreciate your time, bro. I appreciate you coming on. Some great stories, bro. This is definitely going. You got some clips in here that's gonna go viral for sure. And I appreciate you. But yo, man, we usually close it out like this, bro. A scorer in score society is someone who can create their own shot, who can move without the ball. That's the same thing in life. You gotta create your own lane for yourself sometimes. Sometimes you might not be the CEO right away. You might have to move without the ball, you might have to work your way up. But nonetheless, man, you know how to deal with adversity. You know how to put the ball in the hoop. And that, my friend, you are a scorer for all the things you've been through and all the success you achieve. We appreciate your time, bro. And make sure you guys check out the book right here, What I Wish I Knew, by my man Josh Powell. And all right, there you have it, another interview. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, let's continue to think elite and together. Welcome to Score Society. There you have it, another episode for Score Society. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, follow us on all social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, at Score Society. Let's continue to think elite and together. Welcome to Score Society.